guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Heather. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, elementary, middle, and high school age. Today I'm going to be sharing some of the Bible resources that we are going to be using this year. I know that in my curriculum choice videos, I said that I don't do Bible as a class in our home, which is true. We kind of just do Bible and have our own individual devotional time and work through different resources. But I do get new resources each year for Bible to have for my kids as well as for myself. This year, I already shared all of the new Bible books that Sunlight came out with. They redid all of their Bible programs, I think for almost all of their levels this year. So I did share all of those in the curriculum choice videos, and I will leave a link for that in the description box. But I'm also going to share some of the new things that I got, as well as a few resources that we already own that I'm hoping to incorporate into our weekly rhythm as we start our new homeschool year. A lot of it is from Not Consumed, and then I do have some other devotionals that I want to work through, and then some tools that I also use. So I'm going to turn the camera around and share those with you. First, we're going to go over some of the resources that I already own and I am hoping to use this year. Some of them will look familiar because they were in my curriculum choice videos as the new Bible books from Sunlight that we purchased with the kids' new levels for the upcoming year. Again, I will have all of their curriculum choice videos in the description box if you're interested. The first 2 books are for my oldest, who is going into her 3rd year of high school. She would be a sophomore if she were in public school. However, we're going to do these as buddy reads. It's not going to be something that I just give to her and then we discuss later. I want to read it with her. So the first is The Case for Christ, which I have already read. This says updated and expanded. I don't think I've read the updated and expanded version. I read this quite a while ago, and it is pretty thick. I think there were 4 books that were included in the Bible program for Sunlight Level 300, but I'm only focusing on 2 this year. We will see if I get through more of the Bible books or we get through them quicker, then we will revisit in the 2nd semester, but this is what I'm just focusing on for the moment. The next is How to Ruin Your Life by 30, which I have not read at all, so I am actually quite interested to see what this book is about. And again, this will be a buddy read. I will not just give it to her and then have her discuss it with me or like just ask her the questions from the instructor's guides. I like to read the books with her and then have discussion with her. This next book is from the Level 100 program, and this is for Jack. It's Why Pray, 40 Days from Words to Relationships. And they are just short little quick reads. So I think that this will be good. I'm not going to focus too much on a lot of in-depth Bible study. Jack has been reading through the Bible over the past 2 years. He's been reading through the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, and so I want him to continue doing that. So this will just be in addition when we have some quiet time together. I will probably do all of these books with my older 2, and Lucy will most likely be in the mix. Whether or not she is paying attention, that is not that's probably not likely, but she will most likely be in the room a lot of the time. The next book is Talking with Your Kids About Jesus, and this is actually from Level C from Sunlight. This is the new Bible book for Level C, and then for Level D, which is the level that Lucy will be using this next year, the Bible book is Talking with Your Kids About God. But I wanted to focus on this one first. We are going to read this together. It's going to be part of our morning school time. I do school with Lucy first while my older 2 are working on independent subjects, usually foreign language and mechanics and reading and current events and what else do they usually work on? Math in the morning while I am working with Lucy, and then we kind of all come together around 10 or 10:30, and that's when I do the majority of my reading with my older kids once Lucy is pretty much done with school for the day. That's just how we work it. So this is going to be included in our morning time school time. I call it Lucy School because that's essentially what it is. So we're going to start with this. We'll see how far we get. And then if I like this, then we'll continue with the next book, talking with your kids about God, but I don't want to rush through this. And because they updated all of the Bible programs, I wanted to start with this one first, just because I think that that is a good place to start. Now, this one is more for me. It's not really for my kids. This is a mom devotional. It is not for kids. I think it came out maybe 2016. I did this years ago, and I've really been focusing a lot on slow this year. Slow is my word of the year if you've watched any of my goals videos. And I did just do a whole summer refresh where I went through why I chose slow for my word of the year. I went through all of my goals and how they relate to slow and just what my thinking is about slow, why I chose that word. If you're interested in that, I will leave a link in the description box. But this I thought would be encouraging because it does focus on getting out of the busyness. I don't feel like I am in a particularly busy season going into this next homeschool year. Right now, this particular month and last month have been very busy, but not with homeschool related things. May is super heavy with a lot of birthdays, and June we've been doing driver's ed, which has taken a significant amount of time. My older two have jobs this summer, and so that has also taken quite a bit of time, and it's a lot of back and forth for mom. So I don't feel as rested during this time as I normally do in May and June, as we're thinking about starting our new homeschool year, which is right around the corner. In the middle of July is when we start our slow start. So I thought that this would be good. I have been talking a lot about reorganizing my AM routine. My AM routine over the past, 6 to 12 months has kind of been all over the place. I am doing my normal Bible coffee planning every single morning, but that is a very brief time for me. It does not take me a lot of time to read my Bible in the morning or to plan out my day or to drink my coffee. It's very, very basic. That's my bare bones AM routine, but I know that I have so much more energy in the mornings and I want to incorporate some more things. I think that this will be helpful and it will kind of set the mood for the day for me. I have this, I tend to want to load in a lot of things throughout the day because there is so much stuff to learn, and I love learning, I love researching, I love books, all of that stuff, and my kids actually really enjoy that as well. But I don't want to keep adding too much so that we're not enjoying what we're actually working on. So I think that this will be a good help for me, especially as we start a new year, to kind of rein myself in and not try to do too many things and get burned out before it's even Labor Day. So this is more mom, not kid related, but I wanted to throw this in the mix. Then the next resource that we're going to be using that I've had for years is Our 24 Family Ways by Clay and Sally Clarkson. We did this devotional, I think in 2019 was when I first did this, and I really like it. And obviously 2019 was quite a while ago. My kids are a lot older now. Lucy, I think, would take a lot more from it at this point. So I was thinking about doing this. Again, I talked about this, I think I talked about this in the introduction to this video, that I do not really focus on Bible as a school subject. We kind of just do Bible and we pray and we work through things together, but it isn't like, okay, it's Bible time. I encourage the kids to have devotions every morning. Everybody reads their Bible, but we don't necessarily come together specifically for Bible study during the day itself. But I do, the last time that I did this, we did it at lunchtime, and I thought that it was really nice, a nice way to kind of break up our day. So that's my plan, to start with this this year with all of the kids, and we will see how it goes. I really love this Bible study. I love all of Sally Clarkson's books, especially her Life-Giving series, Life-Giving Home, Life-Giving Table, and Life-Giving Parent. Those are amazing books. I have gotten so much out of those books. How to create rhythms that are important, really figuring out where I need to be spending my time, what my priorities ought to be, all of those things. Another book that she wrote years ago that was life-changing for me was Own Your Life. That was very, very instrumental in structuring how my rhythms and life are, and where I say yes and where I say no. Another really good book relating to rhythms and saying yes and no to things is The Best Yes by Lisa TerKeurst. I think that's the name of the book. I will put links in the description box so that you can see those books. But I really, really like this devotional. We got a lot out of it, and I think that we'll get even more out of it now that the kids are, 4 years older this time around. So I'm really excited about going through this again. And now I am going to go through some of the new resources that I did just purchase from Not Consumed. So the first thing is this Bible study called Navigating Friendships. And they have, the way that they've structured their Bible studies is that they have little books for the parent, for teens, and then for kids. I think that's what it is. They may have some that have like a pre-reader level. I didn't look too deeply into it. I have never purchased these before, but I did think that they looked really interesting. I think they're on sale at the moment. The sale may be over at this point, and I did purchase the parent guide, but they did not have the printed version. They only had the digital file. I know that they're updating these, and so perhaps they will be updated soon and you can get new editions, but I just purchased these. I did not get them on sale or anything like that. I wish I had known they were going on sale. I would have waited. But I got 2 for teens for Jack and Emma, and then I also got a junior version, the kids version, for Lucy. And so they did all come with some stickers. There's some whales and turtles and fish and some little people here. So that is fun. And then a little bookmark, captain, first mate, second mate, inner circle, outer circle. This says my friends. And then it does have some little cards here. They must be perhaps for memorizing verses, which is very nice. I'm not really sure how these studies are set up, but I really liked how this one looked. So this is Navigating Friendships, and they will all do this, I'm assuming, together. I have not looked at the parent guide. I think I already said that I haven't printed it out yet. So it looks like it is a 20-day study, and it has some text and then places to kind of respond to questions and Bible verses throughout. So I'm really looking forward to going through this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think that we will probably start our year with this as just part of their morning routine of getting up and doing Bible first thing in the morning, and seeing how that goes. And obviously I will work with them once I print out the parent's guide and bind that. I don't know if I will print it. I wonder if I can print it like in an A5 size similar to this, or if I have to print it 8.5 by 11. We'll see. It's up in the air on how the printing is going to go. But I did get the parent guide. I don't know if you actually need the parent guide or not, but I did get it. And I think that friendships are very important to kids, and learning to have the right friends and be a good influence to the friends that you have, obviously is very important. So I'm really excited about going through this with the kids. So this is the teen version, and then I did also, like I said, get the kids version for Lucy. Again, it comes with stickers and a bookmark and the same little memory verse cards, and these are really nice. It's like it's a heavy cardstock, and it's like, but it's like it's coated in something. So it doesn't feel like paper, it's very smooth. So I'm really excited about these. And then the junior version, I think, is going to be very similar setup, same studies on each day, but there's some places to draw pictures and there's less writing here. So I will most likely be going through this with Lucy. She's not going to go through it on her own, being just 8. We will go through it together, and I'm looking forward to that. And I think it'll be interesting to see the conversation that my older kids have with my youngest, and some of their takeaways from the Bible study. Obviously significantly older, Emma and Jack are, than Lucy, so it should be a lot of fun, I think, to go through this together. Then the last thing that I have that is also new is this Old Testament Faithopedia, Daily Apologetics for Families. They also had a New Testament version. Thought that this would be a lot of fun for us to do, the kids and I. It does come with this little plastic bookmark. It has God's books, God's words, God's character, God's stories, God's timeline. I didn't really see a lot inside of this, so I'm really interested to see what it looks like. I literally just took it out of this plastic wrap that it comes in. There is a Bible verse on the back. Do your best to present yourself to God as one approved, a worker who has no need to be ashamed, rightly handling the word of truth. 2 Timothy 2:15. So this obviously would keep your place wherever you are in this book. So let's open it and see what it is about. It does have, I think that it will stand up. I will have to adjust my camera. Yes, so it will stand up. It folds into a little triangle, so you can keep this up on your table or wherever you want to keep it. So there are daily themes, which are the same as the ones that I read right here. God's books, overview of each book of the Bible, God's words, big words of the Bible and their importance, God's character, who God is and why it matters, God's stories, inspirational stories showing God's work, God's timeline, historical timeline of the people of God. And then there's a statement of faith. Okay, it took me a few minutes to figure out what the heck I was doing. So it is double-sided, but see, this is where it starts, Old Testament, and then eventually you will flip over and you'll do the second half of this book. Once you get, all the way to the back, you'll turn it over and all the back pages will have something new. So it starts with the Old Testament, and everything, I believe, is going to be color-coded. So you have this dark gray, dark brown color, kind of like a dark brown color for God's timeline, then the navy for God's stories, the turquoise for God's character, orange for God's word, and this gold color for God's books. So there's a little before we get started section, and then it's going to move into these color-coded sections. So there's going to be 5 days of content for each week. It does label the week up at the top. So you're starting with Genesis. It has a little bit of information here, some important information up at the top, original audience, date written, the purpose, the author, the theme, book number 1 of the Old Testament, and then some most loved verses so that you can look those up and read them together. And then you're going to move into God's words, and it's going to have a word, the definition, a key verse, and a little bit more information here. And then there's some extra Bible reading that you can deep dive on for this particular word. Then you're moving into God's character. covenant keeper. And it says, think about it. Have you ever made a promise? A little bit of information up here, some Bible verse down here, and then just some time to discuss it. And then you're moving into God's stories, the rainbow covenant, and it has all of that information here. And then you're moving into the timeline. And so it's going to show you the timeline of the content that you were just covering. So that is really quite interesting. I'm really excited about this. So this is going to have 36 weeks of content. It tells you again right up at the top, and it goes through the same 5 sections for one each day. And it just gives you a little bit of extra information to study the Bible. It is 36 weeks. So I'm interested to see if the New Testament is also 36 weeks, if it takes you through a full school year, which I think is what their purpose of having it be 36 weeks is. I really think that this is very, very interesting, especially the timeline stuff. Like I said, I've been reading the Bible chronologically. I think I first started doing that in 2016. I started reading the Bible chronologically. It might have been 2014. I can't remember. The years all run together at this point, guys. But when I started to read the Bible chronologically, it made so much more sense to me than when I would try and just pick a book and read a book. Now, I still like to pick a book and read a book, but I do find it fascinating to read it chronologically. Yes, so that is going to be another part of our Bible this year. Another thing, just a short little start to our day will kind of come together probably before I do School with Lucy, while we're doing our individual devotions, and I kind of go over the plan for the day. I will most likely sit down and read through this as well. I really like the God's Word section, and that it has all of these extra Bible verses that you can really deep dive on. So perhaps on the second day, on Tuesday, we might spend a little bit more time, maybe in the evening, or it's possible that it might be something that my husband would like to participate in as well. And then in that case, we would do it after dinner when my husband is home from work. So I'm really, really excited about this. When I saw this resource, I thought, oh, that sounds fascinating. So I'm hoping that we get a lot out of this. And if we do, we will purchase the New Testament version as well. I do have Christian Heroes Then and Now, George Mueller book. I don't know if that's for this year or if we've read it in the past, and I can't remember exactly when I read it, but I'm definitely looking forward to this quite a bit. So those are all of the new resources that I have, as well as a bunch of old resources that we're going to reuse this year. I do love Bible study. It's something that I do a lot of on my own. I've been trying to read through some commentaries this year, which has made my New Testament reading quite a bit slower than it typically is, but I'm very excited about all of the different resources that I have available to us. I think Bible is so important, but I've never wanted to have it as a class, because I want my kids to really develop that relationship with God. And I think sometimes when they think of it as a class, it's just not as meaningful to them as it is if they are working on their own devotional Bible study time, as well as just including some more resources. So I'm really excited about this year. Again, I will have links to the other curriculum choice videos in the description box. I'm hoping at some point to also have a video on all of the other resources that we use, extra resources, like our current events, which is World Watch, and some of the online tools that we use for the coming year, so stay tuned for that. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about, please let me know in the comments, or you can email me. My contact form is always in the description box. Again, thank you so much for watching. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Bye.